In this video, I'm going to be talking about the Big Bang and solving for zero and how it all works and how it all came to be, even though it already was. So this is going to be an interesting video, to say the least. Anyways, if you ever think about symbolism and different cultures and ethnicities and faiths and beliefs over humankind's existence, what you'll find is, like, you have the serpent eating its own tail, regeneration, and just goes round and round and round. You'll find that there's civilizations or peoples who worship the sun because the sun gave them life. You know, it's what sustained them. And then you have civilizations who practice embalming of people, and such as the ancient Egyptians, and a lot of times they embalmed people. Some cultures even embalmed people while they were alive, and there are reasons for all these things. So anyways, as far as the Big Bang simplified, here it is. The Big Bang, the last Big Bang wasn't the first Big Bang, and it won't be the last Big Bang. And the reason for this is scientifically explainable. What you're going to need to have an understanding of is the laws of thermodynamics, what absolute zero is, and E equals mc squared. And I'll just sum it up with those. So what you have is you have a universe filled with matter, and it's energetic. There's energy all around us. The human body, it's energetic. That's why, like I explained in a previous video, because energy contains mass, as Einstein expressed in his equation, because the human body has mass, that's part of the energy that leaves you when you pass away. So the universe is a non-thinking thing. It is non-conscious. It just does what it does. And what it does is the heat and everything expands outward. And at the same time, it's a vacuum because other objects, stars, have mass, and these other energetic objects that produce a lot of heat, they keep burning their fuel and producing heat, yet there's a vacuum from the last blast, the last Big Bang. So what happens is absolute zero is the unobtainable temperature at which there is no heat. So the universe, like, does attract like, but like with heat and cold, you know, when you turn on your air conditioner or your swamp cooler and you cool down something, you're not cooling it. You're taking the energy and displacing it. You're creating an environment where there is less heat. But absolute zero is so far beyond what humans recognize as 0 degrees Celsius or Fahrenheit, that what happens is at absolute zero there is absolutely no resistance. And at absolute zero there is no resistance, therefore any matter that would exist would have an influence, and therefore it would be resistive. So because there is no resistance at absolute zero, the universe tries to maintain an equilibrium. It's in a vacuum, but heat goes to the coldest place, but heat's just going to where there's a net less heat. So what happens is Big Bang occurs, and all the heat and energy gets pushed outward, and it equalizes in what we know as space. So heat tries to equalize, and like with stars, they produce so much heat that it goes outward. As stars die, as multiple stars die, and less heat is being produced in the universe, what's going to happen is all that heat is going to go and the universe is going to expand like a bubble. Even though it's in a vacuum, it's going to expand. And then the coldest point, wherever the coldest point is, depending on which majority of stars go first, is going to determine where everything will start to come back in on itself. All the mass, all the non-energetic mass and matter, such as rocks, Earth, asteroids, all that, things that aren't in motion are still going to have an impact. And when everything starts to come back in on itself, it's like a vortex, and it just goes right towards the center with the vacuum. And then it all blows back out, and stuff starts to form and take shape. Because it's in motion, and it's perpetual, it never stops, it just keeps happening over and over again. So there's nothing anybody can do about it, nothing to stop it. And so absolute zero is pretty much non-existent. It's a hypothetical, because what happens is there is energy, and the energy, if you know thermodynamics, energy can neither be created nor destroyed. You can only change its form. Well, if it's passing through the nothing and colliding back on itself on the other side, then you have more energy being produced. Therefore, absolute zero will never occur, because absolute zero would mean there would be nothing at all. So pretty much that's a brief summation of the Big Bang and how the Big Bang works, and that's also how you can solve for zero and try and figure out what you think absolute zero really is. But that's just my summation of it. Alright,